Hello everybody and welcome back to another Quin Coins live stream. Thank you all so much for coming. And guys, I have to say, I am really happy to be at this point in the week. When this week started, it was absolutely insane. Lots of things going on, and I was just so happy to be at this point, especially with today. It was really stressful. Had class scheduling and stuff like that. But we are here tonight. We're going to be doing a really cool interview with my good friend J3B Diggin Canada. So he will be on in just a second here. But first, guys, I want to thank my sponsor from tonight. My sole sponsor of tonight's stream is Beth Coddington. So that was from the last stream. She was the sole donator there. So she is going to be tonight's sole sponsor. So thank you so much, Beth Coddington. We all know her. We all love her. She's all over the cornrow hunting community and the streams and the comments and stuff like that. So go ahead and check her out in the description below if you haven't already. I put a link to her channel down there. But guys, without any further ado, let's welcome our good friend J3B Diggin Canada. J3B, what's going on, man?
Hey everybody, how's it going?
I'm well. So it looks like we got just a few people here right now. It looks like people are coming in here. So tonight we are going to be doing an interview, guys. You can see the stream schedule there. We're planning on having J3 on here from 10 p.m. until 11:30 or until he can't stand me anymore, whichever comes first. All right, guys, so as you can see, we actually have a book here. This says Coins of Canada, and the reason is J3B is actually probably the most prolific cornrow hunting Canadian YouTuber on YouTube. Now, I know you do both cornrow hunting and metal detecting on your channel. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, yeah. So which one would you say between those two is more enjoyable for you, or which one do you like to make videos of more?
I'd have to say that would be the metal detecting and my river searching. But as my name says, J3B Diggin Canada, I'm either digging through coins, digging underwater, or digging the ground.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. That's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you can totally be digging wherever you want to. But yeah, no, that's awesome. So why don't we just go ahead and get into some questions? And actually, guys, right before we do that, I want to go ahead and remind you that if you have any questions for J3B or myself, you can go ahead and type them up in the comments. And my mod, Coin and Card Hobbyist, who I forgot to put her link in the description, but she is like the best mod ever. She's going to be going through and picking out those questions and then sending them to me via Facebook so that I can ask them from you to J3B or to answer them myself. So make sure to be asking your questions in the comments as it says right there. All right, so why don't we go ahead and jump right into this interview. So the first question I have for you is, well, we've already sort of went over this, but just a real brief description. What do you do on your channel?
For the most part, it's the metal detecting. I go around to old train stations, farm fields, old house sites, in the woods, you name it. I'll try to find the lost treasure that's buried beneath the ground. It's quite shocking what I've found over the past couple of years. You never know what's buried. And then I also do my river searching, where I'll dive under the water and try to find lost treasure that's just in the ground. Usually find a lot of fishing gear that way.
Oh,
but
sure.
Then there's the coin roll hunting, which Mandy and I do, and we do a lot of that during our off season once the snow hits. But during the summer, we do a few live streams as well for that.
Yep. So I've seen some of your live streams. I've seen some of your videos. You said that the metal detecting season right now is sort of coming to a close, and this is when you're going to start doing a little bit more coin roll hunting, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to fill the gaps. Up here in Canada, we get way too much snow. We've already had, I think, 3 major snowstorms where we've gotten like 5 inches of snow, and then like 2 days later, completely melted away.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like Michigan, actually, but we don't get as much snow down here in Ann Arbor. But guys, we are actually right on the border, so we actually have a little bit more in common than you think, Americans and Canadians here. So I get a lot of Canadian coins. You probably get a lot of American coins up there as well.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so you said you do some river detecting and river hunting. I was just wondering, that sort of brought to mind Aqua Chigger, the YouTuber I'm sure you probably watch, right?
Yes, and actually, Bo Aqua Chigger, he is a friend of mine. We talk all the time on Facebook, and I'm actually the main admin for his official Facebook page, Chig's Army.
Oh, sweet.
So I've gotten lots of advice and tips from him. He's a great guy.
Yeah, yeah. And he's French, isn't he?
Yes.
But not Canadian.
And for the life of me, I don't know how to say his last name.
Really? That's funny. Yeah, because I mean, there's a lot of French stuff up in Canada, right?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he was Canadian or if he was just French, but I think he's just French.
Yeah, he lives way down in the States. I don't remember where, though.
I'm thinking East Coast for some reason. But anyway, so was he a big inspiration for your channel? Just curious.
Yes, actually. It was him, Nugget Noggin, and Quarter Quarter were the first metal detecting channels I ever saw. I was just watching some random stuff, probably The Key of Awesome or something like that, music parodies.
Sure.
And I saw a video in the sidebar that said, found a gun while metal detecting. I'm like, oh, cool. So I clicked it, and that one happened to be Nugget Noggin.
Okay.
Well, I watched a video. I'm like, that's pretty neat. And that led to another video, which led to another one. And eventually, after getting through a bunch of Nugget and then Aqua Chigger and then found Quarter Quarter, I'm like, I really need to get a detector.
Yeah.
And so I think it was a month later, after doing some research in the area, finding out where I can detect, if there's any permits I need to get up here in Canada. And I was all set. Went out, got the metal detector, and I had my first hunt that day.
So was this before you even had a YouTube channel?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was sort of the same way. I went through Nugget, Noggin, Aqua Chigger. I think those are like the sort of the legendary treasure hunters here on YouTube.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was inspired as much by Aqua Chigger because I don't do a whole lot of detecting on my channel, but I was definitely inspired by Nugget Noggin. Just because of his personality, I think I really identified with that personality. He's a really cheery guy, really fun to watch.
Yeah.
And even though I'm doing more coin roll hunting stuff, it was just the thrill of the hunt that was attractive for me. So definitely some really cool guys to gain inspiration from and also to watch even to this day.
Yeah.
So that brings me to our next question. Where does the name J3B come from?
Well, over on my channel and my videos, I actually have a video talking about it. But long story short, my full name is Jeremiah William Robert Bowes, and William can mean Bill, Robert can mean Bob. So legally, my full name could be Jeremiah Billy Bob Bowes. So J3B. It's pretty much just my initials.
Okay, yeah. That's really interesting. I think it just cut out there for a second. Do you want to go ahead and say that name again? Because I want people to hear this. It's really funny.
Okay, for those that missed it when it cut out there, my full name is Jeremiah William Robert Bowes. William can mean Bill, Robert can mean Bob. So legally, my name can be Jeremiah Billy Bob Bowes.
Yeah, so that's where J3B comes from, and you have it with the J and then the 3 written out in B. So that's how we can find him. You guys can look him up on YouTube, or you can go ahead and check him out in the description down below if you didn't hear that already. So tell us about this video, guys. I'm going to pull this up really quick here. This is by far the most popular video on your channel. It's called Girl Attacked While Metal Detecting Canada's Beaches. So tell me a little bit about like the background or like what happened. I think this video is up to almost 140,000 views right now. Viral video for sure. So
it's actually still gaining views, but not nearly as many. I'd say about 20 to 25 a day. But it was the Canada Day long weekend this year, and it was the Monday, the holiday Monday. And I'm like, I got to hit the beach. There was fireworks last night. There was the fair down at the park. So I went down to the beach to detect it. Well, I got down there really, really early. It was about 4:30, and there was this girl walking along the beach with some friends. And then she stopped to look at the water, and her friends kept walking. And she's just sitting there going, "Oh, you're so cute." I'm like, what's she doing? So I just continued metal detecting and doing what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden I hear, "I should pick you up." And I got out my camera as fast as I could and started recording. And sure enough, crayfish bit right onto her finger.
And that's what we're seeing.
It was just the luck of the moment there.
So that's what we're seeing in the thumbnail here is the crayfish holding onto her finger there. That's really really funny and definitely an interesting twist of words to get people into the video. But I think it's very creative. Very creative.
Well, thank you. Not too many people think that.
No, yeah, I've heard it as well. I mean, to be honest, my channel started on a very similar video that gained a lot of views very quickly. it was a video where I found 4 V-nickels in one roll, and I think it was 6 V-nickels in a $20 little bundle. A lot of people thought that was fake. So I mean, I think what happens is your most viral videos, they're going to be your most controversial videos, and they're going to get the most hate out of anything. So that's just sort of what you get, I guess. But I'd say it's worth it. Very cool to have a video like that. So yeah, go ahead and, if you would, well, let's see. Yeah, so I was just wondering, like, what is it like from your perspective, having a viral video? Because this was your first, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
It was my first viral video, but my opinion in it, very busy.
Yeah.
Wow, every day when I logged on, I had so many comments to sort through, and a lot of really bad and negative ones that I had to remove.
Okay.
It kept me busy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I was watching the growth on that video, and I think it was faster than it had faster growth than I think anything on my channel's ever had before.
Yeah. The one day, I don't remember the date, but I was looking at my analytics the other day, just checking to see how the video standing was, and my record day was 25,000 views on that video in one day.
Yeah, I've never hit anything close to that, so that is insane.
Yeah, that was a good day.
For sure. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And then did this video, because I was sort of looking at your uploading patterns, did this video in particular cause you to start uploading more? Because it looks like you've been sort of getting more consistent ever since sort of around that time. Is that the case?
I don't feel like I'm more consistent. I still have my main video every Saturday.
Okay.
But I find I'm uploading more during the week, just something random, maybe a coin roll hunt, do a live stream, or just whatever, talk about a find, show my process for doing electrolysis on cleaning items. But for the most part, I try to stick with my one main video every Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of in the same boat there, except that I just recently got off of that schedule for myself to start doing more live streaming, because that was actually getting to be a bit much with college and everything going on. But
yeah.
Well, we have a couple of questions here from Facebook, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you. This one comes from SJ's Mixed Adventures, and this is a question for you. She says, out of all the different things you do, metal detecting, coin roll hunting, etc., what is your favorite?
I'd have to say metal detecting. For the main fact, when you get a signal, you don't know what it could be.
Right.
It's like the people that enjoy Storage Wars. You don't know what's in the storage locker until you open it. Well, for me, I don't know what's in the ground until I dig it up. And it could be trash, but it could be treasure.
It's usually trash. We'll be honest.
But I actually went out metal detecting today, and I think I got about 3 dozen bottle caps, 2 nails, and a kickstand for a motorcycle. And that was it.
Yeah. But, you know, even on hunts like that, sometimes I find are just very enjoyable. I mean, especially if you haven't been out for a long time. Sometimes you can even have a hunt like that, and it's still a heck of a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed being out until the rain started.
Yeah. I mean, and that's another thing about metal detecting is just being outside. That whole aspect is awesome, and getting exercise. I mean, it's weird to think, but actually, if you haven't been out metal detecting for a long time and you go back and do it, all of a sudden it's like you're sore the next morning, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I've been through that a few times. But
yeah, my longest detecting time, I spent 8 hours in a farm field, just zigzagging back and forth.
Yeah.
That was a long day.
Yeah, no, for sure. Man, I got to get out and do some detecting like that. Farm fields look really awesome, just from like watching the Hoover Boys and stuff.
Oh, they make it look good. It's not that good.
Oh, really? Yeah.
You find a lot of tractor parts.
Okay, yeah. I'm sure you probably have to leave. I'm sure you probably have to leave some of those like, big iron targets out there. You probably can't be careful.
Yeah, well, last time I did the farm field, when I had the 8-hour hunt, I had a big blue plastic tote, and I had that overflowing with just scrap metal when I was done the hunt.
Wow. So yeah, they definitely make it look better than it probably is.
Yeah.
But all right, here's another question, and this one's for you as well. This one comes from Katie Armstrong. She says, what is your oldest United States coin? So the oldest U.S. coin that you own.
I believe a 1934 Mercury. I have a thing for Mercuries. I like the Mercury dime. It's a beautiful, beautiful coin.
Yeah, they're very cool. How did you get that one?
I'm pretty sure that was the one Mandy got coin roll hunting. We were doing
Oh, wow.
a box of dimes, Canadian dimes, and she happened to pull out a Merc.
Wow.
And that was fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're rare enough on their own.
Yeah. I've seen people find silver Canadian dimes before in the United States. I don't think I've ever seen them find an old one, though. I think they've always been young heads. By the way, is that how you call that coin? Do you call them young heads? Is that a thing? Or did I just make that up?
Some people do.
Some people.
I just usually say old or young queen.
Okay. Yeah, that's sort of old or young, because she's pretty old right now.
Yeah. Well, how I look at the coins is if it's an old queen, it's a new coin.
Right. Yeah. All right. So I think we'll just take one more question here. This one's actually for me, and I suppose you can rein in on it as well. Ricky211 asks, what do you do with all of the coins that you don't save? So this is after coin roll hunting. You go through a box of pennies or nickels or whatever you're hunting. You have probably 99% of the coins are not favorable, and what do you do with them? Personally, what I do is I bring them to my credit union and run them through the coin machine. Some people are not as lucky to have that, especially like about a year ago, when I was doing half dollars, I would actually have to roll those up myself and bring them in. So one of the two you're going to have to do, and then of course you're going to have to find a bank that is willing to accept either the rolled coin or a bank that has a coin counter that you can put your coins in that will accept them. So I'll go ahead and pass that question off to you as well. What do you do with the coins that you don't want from your coin roll hunts?
Unfortunately, I don't have any coin machines like that, so I literally sit there and re-roll the entire box.
Okay, so I can see why you're maybe not making as many coin roll hunting videos as metal detecting videos now.
Yeah, but I have a neat swing on things for that. Because what I'll do sometimes is I'll live stream rolling the coins, and it's a reverse coin roll hunt.
Oh, okay.
And it's just answering people's questions while I sit there and re-roll the coins. I try to make it fun so then it's not, sitting there for hours re-rolling coins.
Right, yeah. That's actually a really good idea. I mean, I'm sure that's relaxing. It's cool to, it's a good way to interact with the community while getting some work done for your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
so
and they get to see it's not all just fun and games.
Right,
a lot of work that goes into coin roll hunting.
Yeah, and I remember, man, I used to try to really aim to show people that it wasn't all fun and games, but then I realized, like, well, why not just make it look like it's fun and games? It's like people are here to watch the video. They don't want to see the bad stuff. So what I would do is I'd put a GoPro on and then just fast forward through all the boring stuff, just very fast. But it's there. It's just not like super boring. So that's how.
Yeah, I actually have a few videos like that on the channel where I've done coin roll hunts just myself. That was before I found out Mandy wanted to get involved and she enjoyed coin roll hunting, so we started doing the live streams.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've seen some of your live streams. Those look fun. I mean, I guess we'll get into this a little bit later, as far as like what coin you like to hunt. But I think the ones that I've seen you do were mostly dimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so I guess that's actually a pretty good transition into our next little topic here, which is coin roll hunting in Canada. So guys, if you're just tuning in and you don't know who J3B is, J3B Diggin Canada, it's in the name. He is a Canadian citizen. He is looking through Canadian coins. He is metal detecting in Canada. So this is Canadian stuff, and this is just like completely new to some people. Obviously, here in Michigan, I get a lot of Canadian coins, so I'm pretty familiar with them. And I'll go ahead and pull this out of the way just real quick for you guys so you can see. This is a book that I have right here. It's called Coins of Canada. I do reference it from time to time because sometimes I'll find something that I'm not too sure about, especially in the pennies. So my first question for you on coin roll hunting in Canada is, how does coin roll hunting in Canada compare to coin roll hunting in the United States?
Well, from all my experience in coin roll hunting here in Canada and watching everybody else do it in the States, you guys have so much more silver in circulation than us.
Yeah, I'd say so.
But for the most part, we have the same coins. It's the same style of hunting, same rollers, except you guys still have pennies.
Mm-hmm. And guys, that is a topic that we're also going to be getting into later. We're going to be going into depth into the abolishment of the penny in Canada and possible consequences for the United States down the line. So you don't have any pennies in Canada, and you cannot get them anymore. Is that correct?
Well, if you metal detect, you can get them.
Oh, sure. Yeah, right.
But luckily, the bank still takes them. So if I roll up a roll of pennies, I can take it to the bank, and they'll give me new currency for it.
Okay. And what?
I've tried asking the banks and begging and pleading with them to try to get rolls. You can't. I actually bought some a couple months ago, but I bought them privately through somebody that just had a bunch laying around.
Yeah.
And I paid like double the price for them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Wow. So that's crazy to think that that could happen to the United States. We definitely don't want. I mean, I know a lot of people that don't want that to happen. What I guess we'll just do a little teaser here. Like, what was your reaction when they said that we're getting rid of the penny? Were you doing coin roll hunting at the time?
No, I wasn't at that point.
Okay, so you weren't super involved in it at that point.
No. It didn't affect me too much. It was just a little confusing at first to get used to how everything rounds up and down. And,
right, yeah.
But we still have 1 cent as a currency. So if anything's debit, they don't round it. So you could buy something that's 97 cents, and that's what they take out of your bank.
Right.
But if you pay cash, then they round it.
Okay, yeah, that's sort of what I figured. So here's a question. Where have you found the best chance to find silver? What denomination of Canadian coin gives you the best chance to actually find silver in circulation? You said you don't have much of it, but there is still some. So where is it found?
The best denomination for that would probably be dimes.
Okay.
Just because they're easier to go through for the main fact, since pretty much the time the dime came out, they've all been the same. It's not like the quarter that has a new one every month.
Yeah. Okay. And okay, so I'd say we have decent luck in dimes in the U.S. as well, but I think most people that are actually looking for silver are going to be hunting halves. I know a lot of people who are very serious about this hobby who go through multiple boxes of half dollars every week. I'm just wondering if that is a thing in Canada, because I don't think I've ever seen a video of someone hunting Canadian half dollars.
You can get half dollars, but it's very, very rare. You can't go to the bank like in the States and order a box of halves.
Okay.
You just have to be lucky enough to be at the bank on the day, and somebody that morning happened to brought in a bunch. Because what they do is if they get half dollars or silver dollars, they keep them aside for people that come in looking for them, like myself.
Oh.
I've been lucky enough. I've actually gotten some silver dollars and a bag of half dollars, but didn't find anything of value in them.
Okay. And when you say silver dollars, is that I have one right here. Let me know if like this size. Can you see that?
Yes.
That's the totem pole 58 silver dollar. I think this one actually is silver, right? It's the 1958.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And these are 80%. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. So
most around that time period were 80.
All right. So you still are producing dollar coins of that size.
No, they stopped in 1987.
Okay. Right.
Now you can get special made ones for sets, but not for circulation.
Okay. All right.
Because the silver dollar ended up turning into what everybody knows as the Canadian loonie.
Right. I just remember that now. Now that you say that. So go ahead and explain a little bit about that.
Well, in 1935 is when they came out with the silver dollar, and they kept that into circulation until 1987, which happens to be my birth year. And then they decided to bring in the loonie, change the look of it, and change the metal content to make it cheaper for the mint to make.
Okay, so then you also have a $2 coin, is that correct?
Yes, that's called a toonie.
All right. Yeah.
And that 1996.
Okay. What is
so
the
it's
point?
a fairly newer coin.
I'm just wondering, what is the point? I know that I've heard arguments for it before, but what is the point of having $1 and $2 coins? And you actually use them in Canada, right?
Yes.
Like people around here, we have the $1 coins. I have some here, a couple of different types actually. So here, I'll show them on the camera here. This is a Sacagawea dollar. There's another one, and then Susan B. Anthony dollar. This is the size of coins that we have today. But hardly anybody uses these in the United States. And I have friends in Canada who tell me that they are using loonies and toonies, which are the $1 and $2 coins, all the time. So I wonder why that is. I'm just wondering why that is.
Well, for the most part, when they brought out those coins, what they were doing was taking away the bills. So up here in Canada, we don't have in circulation $1 bills or $2 bills or anything like that. Our lowest bill is $5.
Huh.
So if you go to a dollar store, you're either paying with a bill or you just give them a loonie or a toonie.
I didn't know that. So
it helped eliminate the bills, because the bills, they get ripped over time.
Sure.
And it just wasn't really planned out for them. That's why in the past couple of years they've actually switched our bills to plastic.
Oh, wow. You're doing a lot of weird things that I haven't heard about. That's crazy.
Well, this year we came out with the world's first circulated glow-in-the-dark toonie, so give the Canada.
Yeah, and you also have colored quarters, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I saw some in one of your recent videos. With
Well, the States have colored coins too. I've seen some $50 with Elvis on it.
Oh, really? Huh, I didn't know.
I was watching a $50 Make You Holler stream, and he actually came across one.
Huh. Oh, okay. You're talking about the so people put those on there, right?
Oh, like put the sticker on it?
Yeah, it's a sticker.
Oh, I thought it was like a limited edition $50 that came out.
No, it's like a third party, I think, that puts those stickers on and then sells them for like just $1 a piece or something like that.
Oh.
I found
well, that's
one.
kind of disappointing.
Yeah. It's just a sticker. It's not. I mean, like with the Canadian stuff, it's that color's meant to last, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, the stickers come off very quick. I mean, especially if you're actually spending them. I found a Obama coin that the sticker was completely scratched off. I'm not going to go into that, but they come off pretty easily. But yeah, I have seen a lot of those.
Yeah, Canada definitely has some weird money up here.
Oh, yeah.
Changing the bills to plastic was one thing. They're like, well, if it's plastic, then it can survive the washer for people who accidentally put it into the washing machine. Because the old bills, they'd get totaled. They'd just crumble apart.
Right.
Well, they solved that, but created a new problem. Now, the bills melt in the dryer.
Okay, yeah. I wonder what they're going to make them out of next. Maybe they'll just go completely to coins. I don't know. Or just get rid of bills completely.
Yeah.
I mean, that is probably the future. I'm like looking at this whole cryptocurrency thing that's going on right now that's going crazy. Could be the future. But for now, we still have bills, and maybe we should just take care of them and not put them in the dryer in the first place.
Yeah. The one thing that disappoints me with our bills, though, down in the States, you guys have what you refer to as star notes.
Yep.
Canada doesn't have anything like that, so I don't do any searching through bills.
Okay, yeah.
The odd time I'll get a stack of money because I'm paying a bill off or just got paid or something like that. I'll look through for, the numbers on it, but yeah, we don't have anything like star notes.
And how many numbers does each bill have? Because I think the ones in the States here have, 8 numbers on them. I'll check real quick. I got some in my pocket.
Yeah, I don't have my wallet on me, so I can't check. I don't know how many numbers are on it, but I know some bills have letters on it as well. Like it starts off with a letter and then I believe 10 numbers.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah, because I was thinking, in the States we can do things like we can find birthday notes, which is like, two digits for the day, 2 digits for the month, and then 4 digits for the year. I was wondering if you could like do stuff like that up in Canada. Any interesting serial numbers that you can find?
Well, that's what I look for like common numbers, a lot of zeros. Got my wallet. So this is our plastic bills.
Oh, wow.
Like they're see-through and everything.
It still bends a little bit, though, doesn't it?
Yeah, but you can't rip them. You can literally crumple it back up, and boom, still good as new.
Wow. Very fancy, I don't know what you call that thing on the side there.
Security thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you can see in the screen, it's transparent, so you can see the screen behind it.
That is crazy.
This one here, this bill is FWS 6117938. So ours have a combination of letters and numbers.
Okay, so yeah, you got 6117938. It's like 7 numbers on there. Huh. That's interesting.
But even our 50s, all our currency's plastic now. Wow. But they're nice looking bills.
Who's the guy on the front there?
One of our prime ministers. Now I feel like a terrible Canadian because I don't know. Where'd he go?
Do you also have that rule? We have a weird law in the United States that you have to be dead before you can be on a piece of currency. Is that the case? Well, I guess it's not because you have the Queen on all of your currency. So, yeah, you have to die before you can get on an official piece of currency in the United States. So, kind of weird law, but that's how it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if we got any more Facebook questions here. It doesn't look like it. Guys, if you have any questions for J3, make sure to put them in the chat here. Coin and Card Hobbyist is going to be going through and picking out some of the best questions so that we can ask them to J3, or you can ask myself. We'll go ahead and answer all throughout. So here's a question that I have for you. What is the oldest coin that you can possibly find in each denomination? And the only reason that I ask this is because I'm fairly certain that Canada went through a huge change back in, I want to say 1920. You guys have had large cents for a lot longer than the United States has. So I'm just wondering, like, in each denomination, what's the oldest thing that you can find?
Well, I'll start off with nickels.
Okay.
We have in Canada what we refer to as a fish scale nickel. It is very, very, very tiny.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen a toonie, but you know the center gold piece?
Yep.
The coin's about the size of that.
Okay.
And those came out from 1858 to 1921. And then the nickel came out, and that's what you can find in circulation now from 1921 to present.
Okay.
A few differences in the designs along the way. But, for dimes, the oldest one you can find is 1858. And there is a chance you could find that in circulation because they've been the same size and shape throughout.
Okay. All right.
Time. Quarters, the oldest you can find is 1870. But I don't like hunting quarters, so I'll probably never find any like that. Because like I stated before, we come out with so many quarters each year that if you get a box of quarters, it's just hectic to go through because there's so many different ones to keep your eye out for.
Right, yeah.
But then we have our 50-cent coins. They also came out in 1870. You can still get them now, but they're not in circulation. They're just for, like, if you go to the mint or the post office or something and buy a commemorative set.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was the silver dollars from 1935. Loonies was 1987. Toonie was 1996. That's a very new modern coin.
Yep.
But pennies, 1858 to 1921. That's the date range there for the large cent. Right. I've actually found one metal detecting, and I believe it was 1894.
Oh, nice. I think that beats mine.
I found that at. I got permission to do a site in Aurelia that for years it was just an abandoned house, and it collapsed and it got torn down. And I put an ad online for looking for places to metal detect. And this lady contacted me saying, hey, I have this property in downtown Aurelia. The house is gone, but you're welcome to detect there. I'm like, okay, well, is there any history about it? It was the home site of our town's first mayor.
Oh, nice.
So that was pretty cool. And that's where I found the large cent.
And what did you say the date was on the house?
It was an old Victorian house. I don't know the actual age on it, but it was old.
So is that like turn of the century kind of?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Yeah.
And then for pennies, just the small cents, they switched to them in 1922. And you can find them until they stop making pennies.
So most of your currency started in like 1858, you said.
Yes.
When did Canada actually gain its independence? Wasn't that 1867? Is that correct?
I believe so, but don't quote me on that. My Canadian history is terrible.
Because I'm thinking of the centennial that I always find. I call them the bird cent. 1967. It says centennial 1867 and 1967. So I'm just wondering why they were making coins before they were even an independent nation. That's pretty crazy. But yeah, no, I don't know my Canadian history either. So yeah, no, that's interesting though. I almost forgot there for a second that you can't hunt pennies anymore, so it wouldn't even make sense to really talk about being able to find large cents or anything like that. which I'm sure that there's very little to no chance of finding a large cent in circulation for any reason.
Yeah, but that just made me think. I've never gone to the bank and asked if anybody has ever brought in large cents.
It could happen.
I go in looking for half dollars and silver dollars. I've never thought to ask about large cents if anybody ever brought in a roll of that or a bag of those.
Right, yeah.
Next time I'm in, I'm asking.
For sure, yeah. You might get lucky, who knows. I was wondering, do you have rolls of all of the coins that are produced today? Can you go out and get a roll of toonies?
Yes.
Yeah.
I forget how much the roll is. I can't think of that offhand. But yes, everything you can get rolls of except for half dollars, silver dollars, and obviously pennies.
Right.
Like the half dollars and silver dollars you can get, most of the time they're not in rolls. They just give them to you in a bag or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you can pretty much get everything except for pennies.
Yeah.
It's illegal for them to give pennies back into the public now.
Wow, okay. So there's really no chance.
Yeah. Because with the half dollars and silver dollars, if you have some, you can still go to a store and pay with them. Some stores don't like that. They frown upon it. But yeah, they're still in currency today. But the pennies, no, they completely remove that.
Okay. So you can still pay with pennies though, right? To give to No, you can't? Okay, so I was thinking can you bring pennies into the bank so that they can get rid of them, or?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the only thing you can do with pennies. You can take them to the bank and just get normal currency back.
Gotcha, okay.
It's illegal up here for stores to accept pennies, even if they're rolled. No one's allowed to touch them anymore. They're completely gone.
Wow, that's almost, it's like a scary reality that I don't want to get into. Wow, okay. So we actually have a couple more questions coming in. This one's for you, and it comes from JC Will. He asks, are there many error coins up in Canada?
For the most part, there's still the same type of errors you guys would see down in the States. Double dies, cracks, misprints, rotated obverse and stuff like that. It's all the same stuff because it's just machinery that makes the errors. So if your machines can mess up when minting, so can ours.
Yeah.
But we also have errors where they mismatch the metals and coins that are supposed to be magnetic aren't, or that's reversed.
Right.
I know there's a penny. I think it's a 2006 non-magnetic. If you find one, they're worth a pretty penny.
Yeah. And
I've seen some go up as high as like $200 for a penny that's just not magnetic when it should be.
So
and it only came from one mint.
So the 2006 penny, would that be made of steel? Is that why it should be magnetic?
I believe so.
Okay, and then do you know what the alloy is, or the incorrect alloy that makes up the non-magnetic one? Like, I'm wondering how they mess up that.
Second.
Sure.
I have my site up here.
Okay.
Do-do-do-do.
I'm gonna have to check my 2006 Canadian pennies. I got them all in a jar somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so non-magnetic. Where is it? 94% steel, 4.5% copper, and 1.5% nickel.
All right, so that's what it should be, right?
No, that's apparently the non-magnetic one. I don't know what stops them from being magnetic. Unfortunately, it doesn't go into that.
Must just be the mix of the metals that changes properties or something like that. It's interesting for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look out for that one. I have one right here that I actually wanted to show. I'll go ahead and show it up on the screen right now. Actually, I'm going to switch to a different view here real quick. So I'll tell you, J3, what I'm showing right now is a 2012 Canadian penny, which to my understanding is the last year that they minted Canadian pennies. And that's why I took it out. You guys can see this design here on the back. This is an older portrait of the Queen. And the reason I took this out, like I said, it is a nice shiny coin. I thought it was cool to have because this is the last year that a Canadian penny will ever be minted, so I think that's pretty insane. I'm sure that most people would probably just pass this off as a cheap steel Canadian penny that should be thrown back into circulation. But I took it out because I thought it was, it'd be cool to have at least one. So that is something that I have, and that is made of steel.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to get the best condition pennies I can from 2000 to 2012 when they ended.
Okay.
Because I have an idea of getting a clock, and for the numbers, 12 o'clock would be 2012, and then 2001, 2, 3, all the way around, have the face of the coin.
Okay.
And then 2000 right in the middle.
That actually works right out. That's really cool because, they made them up through 2012. Sure.
It's every Canadian coin of the millennium, year 2000, all in one clock, which works out perfect.
Yeah. So you're still looking for those? Because I might be able to find something for you. I got a whole jar to look through.
Yeah, I have some I still have to go through, but yeah, it's a fun process because it's very hard to find pennies unless you're metal detecting, and those ones aren't normally in the nicest shape to.
Yeah, I'm wondering what steel pennies end up like after being in the ground for a while.
Well, you guys have pennies down there that when you dig them up, it's all corroded on the side and they're misshaped and just crumbling.
Yep.
A lot of our pennies do that.
Yeah, and I think the only time I've ever seen someone who dug a steel penny, because we had steel pennies for 1 year only, 1943.
Yeah.
JD's Variety Channel dug up what he said had to be a 1943 steel penny, and it was about a quarter of a penny left. It was just, zinc pennies don't look good, but this thing, you could not even identify it. The only reason he thought he knew what it was because he found it with a bunch of other pennies around the same era. Otherwise, you would never even dig a signal like that. It doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing, that's another thing. You probably just don't even, can you identify a steel penny signal? And, no.
Probably, but I couldn't tell you offhand what it reads as.
Okay.
I'm still learning the detector because it's designed for the States.
Oh, okay.
So it reads a little differently than everything else up here in Canada.
Yep.
Because I know American coins, they ring a lot lower than they would down in the States up here in Canada. Like our currency sounds completely different. Our quarter compared to your quarter, completely different sounds.
Right, yeah, for sure. I think I've only found one Canadian quarter metal detecting ever, but that was kind of fun.
Yeah, I remember finding an American quarter, and on the machine, I almost thought it was like an iron signal. But I still decided to dig it, and I was excited because it was an American quarter.
Yeah, definitely. I think, at least from what I've seen, it seems like you guys have more American coins than we have Canadian coins in general.
Yeah, a lot of Americans like to come up to Canada for vacation, and I find doing that, there's a lot in circulation.
Right, which is good for you.
But it's unfortunate for me, because if I say I do coin roll hunting and I get, American dime here, American dime there, and I get enough to get a roll, they will not convert that into Canadian where I end up getting more because your dollar is higher than ours.
Right.
They just consider your clad as the same as our clad here, unless it's a bill. Yep. Bills will do the rate exchange and all that, but coins they won't.
So I guess you're just going to have to...
I find a lot of American coins.
Yeah, you're just going to have to store those and cash them in down here. You won't make a ton of profit doing that, but you'll make more than, you'll make more than... Well, every time I save a Canadian coin, I'm losing money. So, and I've been saving a lot of them. Pennies and nickels, I don't really care too much about. Dimes, I try to slip back into circulation because I don't want to hold on to those, and especially with quarters, it's like, okay, that's worth like 19 American cents or something like that. So, yeah, no good there. We got a couple more questions here on Facebook. This one's for both of us. It comes from Legend of Cats. Legend of Cats asks, what is your rarest coin? Go ahead and let you start if you can think of one. But okay. That's kind of a tricky question.
This year, for my birthday, Mandy picked me up a White's metal detector, Spectrum XLT. Awesome machine. And she knew I was excited, so she took me out hunting. I went to our church, which was back in the day an old drive-in movie theater. So I was detecting along there, and I got a weird signal that I've never heard before, and I dug it up, and it was an 1892 Canadian fish scale nickel, one of those tiny little ones.
Yeah.
92.5% silver in beautiful condition. I had it appraised by a coin dealer here in town, and that coin is worth around $150.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's pretty good for a nickel I dug out of the ground.
Yeah, absolutely. And they call those, they're like 5 cents silver. I mean, because they're silver coins, right?
Yes,
Okay,
the same
so
as you
very
find in rings or necklaces. It's 925.
right. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't think we have any 925 coins here in the States. Maybe way back in the day, but nothing I can think of.
Yeah. Well, for up here in Canada, the reason why they did it 925 is because it's such a small coin. They wanted to make it pure silver so it has more weight
Okay.
because of its size.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I bought a few of those coins way back. Definitely not as rare as the one you found. You said it was 1892?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that brings up another question.
George V on the back.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's a cool design. I love finding those in the pennies. Don't get them too often, but so 1892, and it's just when you find a coin, there is no mint mark on it. Is that correct? You only have one mint, the Royal Mint, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah. Because
I haven't done a lot of research into how they're minted in Canada, so I'm not too familiar if we do have any more. I know we have one in Ottawa, but I don't know if they have any scattered throughout Canada in different provinces or anything like that. But I know there's no mint marks.
No mint marks, yep. So it's just every year is what it is. So
yes,
I mean, I guess in a way that makes collecting a little bit not, I don't want to say easier, but like your books are probably a little bit smaller than ours because they're just year after year after year it goes like that.
Yeah.
Whereas here we have usually it's the Denver Mint Mark, it's the San Francisco, Philadelphia. Sometimes you get back a little further and you have things like Carson City and New Orleans and stuff like that. So yeah, that is another one of the major differences between the United States and Canada. No mint marks up in Canada, so kind of interesting there. All right, so we've actually gone through a few of the questions that we had here. One of the questions that I had for you is, why did you guys have to go and make Canadian dimes look just like American silver dimes? Because when we find those in the rolls in America, we always think they're silver dimes. They trick us every time. Like, especially where I'm at, I find probably 6 or 7 Canadian dimes in a box of dimes, and I'm just getting fed up because every single one, it's just a clad Canadian dime, and I'm thinking it's silver, but it's not. They look like it, though.
Yeah, I have heard that before, but I'll tell you, your coins do that to us too.
Oh, really?
You wouldn't believe how many times I dig up an American dime and I think it's silver, just because of the toning it gets in certain areas here in the contents in the soil.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I think usually silver dimes, I guess I can only speak for my soil content, but for me, usually they come out nice and white, and you can sort of tell right away. But I have had some that were, like the only Merc dime that I ever dug, the first time I picked it up, first of all, I wasn't expecting to find a Merc dime in the area. Picked it up, thought it was just a clad because it was so dark and kind of gross looking. And then I took a closer look at it, and I was like, this is a Mercury dime. That was really cool. I think it was a 37. So you said that was your favorite coin, so.
Oh yes, I love Mercury dimes. Mandy actually went out for Christmas last year and ordered me an uncirculated 1944 Mercury dime.
Nice.
And I have that in the little case in my display cabinet.
Yeah.
I just thought it's a beautiful, beautiful coin.
Yeah.
But it tricked me. I actually, when I first heard about Mercury dimes and first started looking at them, I thought it was supposed to be the goddess Mercury on it.
Mm.
It's not. It's just Lady Liberty with like the same helmet Thor would wear.
Yeah, I don't know why they even call it that, honestly.
But because so many people thought it was the goddess Mercury on it, okay. I'm pretty sure that's where it got its name, Mercury dime.
Gotcha.
I'm not sure on that, but.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So a lot of people here, I mean, I'd say the majority of people who are invested in this hobby come from the United States because, like you said, it's probably one of the, if not the best country to do coin roll hunting in because we still have our old coins in circulation. We still have a little bit more silver than most countries probably do. When you see an American coin, do you consider that foreign?
Yes, and I actually get quite excited. If we're coin roll hunting, And I find an American, I usually am going through and I'm just like, oh, American! And I put it aside so I can check the date. And Mandy she just laughs at me.
Yeah, okay. And then I had another question. I don't know if you see any of my coin roll hunting competitions that I do with my brother. There are certain Canadian coins where we actually subtract points from the score.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Does that offend you?
No.
No. Would you do the same?
No, because when Mandy and I have done battles like that and we have a point system, we actually class the American as a foreign coin, so that actually gains us a point.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, because, well, the ones that we subtract for is a steel penny, or I guess, so you made pennies, so pennies were made in copper up until I think 98 or something like that in Canada. And then I'm thinking they switched over to zinc for a couple of years and then steel, is that to your knowledge?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay,
and the zinc ones, I don't like them.
Right, so anything, I think we say anything after 98 counts for -1 point, just because it's steel and, yeah, it's low grade. And then for nickels, anything after 81 will subtract a point because we like to, I like to collect the 99.9% nickel bullion coins, even though they're not really worth their weight as far as from what I've seen so far, in American anyway. But I do like to collect it because who knows what nickel could do in the future.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't hunt through though is nickels. Because up here in Canada, I think it's the late 20s, early 30s when they stopped making them silver. So they haven't had silver in circulation for years up here for the nickels.
Yeah, and I mean we only have 3 years of silver nickels. I more so just hunt nickels to try and find buffalo nickels, to try and find the older Jeffersons, which are quite abundant. Really, you can find a lot of those and fill your collection up. So that's mostly what the fun is for me. I don't think I've ever found a Younghead nickel. I've definitely never found a King George nickel. I find King George pennies all the time though. The six.
Well, for the older nickels, they're not round.
Right.
So a lot of people see them and they'll take them out. So I find in the States you don't find them nearly as much because they're, like the shape of a stop sign.
Yep. Okay. So are they all like that?
Pardon?
Are they all like that? Is in that area?
Up until I think the 60s, and then they switched to just normal round.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that would explain it. I'm sure the coin machine spit them out then.
Yes.
So you said you don't have a coin machine up there, but are there coin machines in Canada?
Yes, we do have one in town, but it's at a grocery store, and it costs, I think, 7% of whatever you put in.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
For me, that's a waste.
Right. Yeah.
I can sit down for an hour and just re-roll all the coins and save myself 7% of whatever I rolled.
Right. Yeah.
But I do check them from time to time. It's in a store called Metro here, and I do check it from time to time. And I ask them about the reject coins, but they're not friendly.
Right. Yeah, I've experienced some of that myself here.
Oh, I don't think in my neck of the woods too many people ask. So when I say, hey, do you happen to have a container with all the coins machine won't spit out, I want to go through them, I'll buy them off you. And they're just like, why?
Right, yeah. I've gotten that reaction as well. Here's a question from Ken Peavy. He's watching, and I'm sure he's just laughing at some of the lack of expertise, like perhaps around the Mercury dime and stuff like that, because he's an expert. I don't know if you've seen Ken Peavy. He knows his stuff as far as coins goes. He asks, do you have a blog?
No, I do not. That's something I've been thinking about that I might start doing this winter, because like with all the snow, I have a lot of downtime.
Yep.
But I haven't decided if I'm going to do a blog or a video log. I haven't decided.
Yeah, I mean, sort of like you're sort of doing video logs, just doing your metal detecting series.
Yeah.
So that was.
I might end up doing something written, but I don't know the first thing about running blogs or where to start, where to even put them for people to read.
Yeah.
I don't know what sites are popular for going and reading people's blog posts and stuff like that. It's not something I've really dabbled in the past. So.
Well, we can start here. What social media do you have right now Because we can share that.
I have Facebook, Twitter. I have an Instagram, but not active because my cell phone broke metal detecting this year, and I haven't gotten a new one yet. And for some reason, Instagram on the computer won't let me upload images. Because you need to use the downloaded app, so that's just been sitting dormant for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to go ahead and put your Facebook and your Twitter down there in the chat, I'm sure people will go over and follow. I did tweet out, guys, before the stream that I'm going to be doing this, and I did tag J3B, so if you want to find him that way, go ahead and check out my Twitter account, which you can find in the description below. I'm sure many of you follow that as well. You'll find it through there. I need to make sure that I follow you because I'm not sure that I do right now, so I will definitely do that. And we'll go ahead and look into some other questions, guys. We are about 55 minutes in right now, and I think it's about time we switch over to a little bit of discussion around the penny. We said that we were going to get into that, and I think it's probably a good time to get into that. But before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and take one more question from Facebook. This one comes from JC Will once again. He says, do you have commemorative coins in Canada? And I think I know the answer to this one.
We do. For the most part, they're usually in the quarters.
Yep.
Like I said before, we have so many quarters, it's not even funny. I can think of 3 different sets that are out there where they came out with a different quarter for each month. So we have ones that are, every month they came out with a different horoscope, and another year we have every month where they came out with a province or territory, and so on and so on and so on. We just have so many quarters, it's not funny.
Yeah.
This year I think we came out with 2 new quarters for Remembrance Day. And we came out with new quarters for Canada's 150th.
Okay.
So already this year, we came out with 5 or 6 different quarters for the same year.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to look through them.
And we sort of do the same thing. We have, I mean, once we got through all the states, then we started doing Guam and, you know, all that stuff, and Puerto Rico, and then we went over to, like, national parks. I mean, whatever they can think of to put on a quarter, they'll put it on. And I don't know why it's quarters. It's the same with Canada and the United States. It's in the quarter series they decided to do that stuff. So.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, the reason why it's the quarter is the main fact. It's size. It's not overly big, so it doesn't cost them as much more. Mm-hmm. And it's not too small, so people can actually see the designs.
Right. Okay.
If you put it on nickel, it would be tiny. It would be hard to see the detail.
Yeah. And I think that, I mean, when you think of commemorative coins, you usually are thinking of larger coins. Like you said, they're still creating commemorative $50 up in Canada?
Yes, just for sets, nothing for circulation or anything like that. But.
Okay, yeah. When did they stop producing $50 for circulation, like around, as far as you?
Honestly, I don't know the answer to that one. That's something I haven't researched yet. I need to, but I haven't yet.
Yeah, because I was just, you know, it sounds like, well, you said you can get $50. I'm just like, I haven't seen any videos of anybody from Canada opening $50, and it's just, like, it's weird to think, you know, it sounds like they're kind of inaccessible. You said that you can get them just sort of loose, like we do here in the States sometimes. You got me saying in the States. It's kind of funny. But you know, usually when people get $50, they try to order a box, and we can actually do that.
In the States, you see somebody get a box, it makes a good video. When I actually was able to get $50 from the bank, it was $32.50 worth of $50. So it was just a little Ziploc bag with some in it. That would have been like a 4-minute video.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, that design is really cool. If it's the one that I'm thinking of, some really cool design on the $50. I don't know if it's the same, but yeah.
Yeah, it still has the old effect on it. Okay. It looks like our older style coins with the band going around and everything.
Yeah, that's the one.
Beautiful, beautiful design.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite coin designs out of any coin.
Yeah.
It's very cool. Yeah. All right. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch over to a little bit of discussion around the penny. As we said a little bit earlier, Canada did abolish the penny back in 2012, so they got rid of it completely. From what I've heard from all of my Canadian friends, they said that once this ban hit, it was just gone. It seemed like it was just night and day. There was no gradual disappearing of the penny. It was just, they were no longer. And like you said, well, go ahead.
They did give us a bit of warning
Yeah.
because the last penny was made in 2012, but in 2013 is when they stopped accepting it everywhere. So they gave us a year and told everyone, bring your pennies into the bank, exchange them, get rid of them. Because the final year of the penny was 2013.
Okay.
But for that year, they did not issue one.
Gotcha. Okay. So I had it right on the 2012.
Yeah.
That's the last year. Gotcha. Cool. Yeah. So that must have just been so weird. Can you get into a little bit of what was the reasoning behind getting rid of the penny?
Apparently, it cost almost double what the face value is just to make the penny from the metal content and paying the employees and this and that and everything else. They just decided to get rid of it to save money.
Okay.
Which does make sense. If it costs more than what the coin's worth, that's not good.
Right. Yeah. That is currently the case with the penny in the United States. It's also the case with the nickel. I think nickels cost about 7 cents to make.
Yeah.
So, we're sort of in the same area. And I think from what I've heard, it is not possible to make that process cheaper. They've looked into a bunch of different ways. Canada tried steel. Apparently that wasn't much cheaper than zinc in the long run.
Hey, I'm just glad they didn't make those plastic.
Oh,
like
yeah.
The bills.
Right, yeah, that would just be a disaster, I think. But so yeah, they were just sort of facing this thing. They could not figure out a way to make a penny for cheaper than a penny. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that the melt value of the coin is higher than 1 cent, because you also have to factor in labor and factory costs and shipping and all that stuff too, into the cost of creating 1 penny. If you look at zinc pennies in the United States right now, the zinc content is worth about 0.82 cents. So you're close to having a penny's worth of zinc there. The copper content in a copper American penny is worth around 1.7 cents right now. So hopefully that's not shocking to too many people. We do talk about that a little bit on this channel, and I am a copper hoarder myself.
Yeah. So, is it still illegal in the States to melt down the copper pennies?
It is still illegal, yep. And I think that will...
I have a loophole for you.
Uh-oh.
This is the one thing I've done research on. You know the machines you can get at gift shops where you put in the penny and you squish it?
Yeah.
That's illegal, or that's legal to do that to a penny.
Right.
Once it's squished, you can scrap that.
Oh my gosh.
So if you had that machine and you sat there and squished every penny, you don't have to have a die in it to put a design. If you just squish them flat, then you're allowed to scrap the copper.
So why is it legal to put those through a pressing machine? Who made that legal?
That I don't know.
That is such a weird thing. When I was in chemistry back in high school, I remember actually dissolving a penny in nitric acid completely, and I was like, is this legal at all? I was like, we're completely destroying, but I'm guessing it's just that nobody cared. But.
Yeah. I've done that with Coca-Cola. You can dissolve coins with that. One thing that's very popular up here, and it's illegal, and people do get in trouble for it, is popping out the center of toonies.
Yeah.
You can be charged with defacing the queen.
Wow. And is
you
that...
can actually get jail time for that.
Really?
That sucks.
Yeah. So you guys take the queen pretty seriously up there in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So I mean, it sounds like a pretty decent reason to get rid of the penny. It doesn't make much sense if it's costing you more than it's worth. Usually that reason alone would probably convince people to get rid of it, but I think it's just the amount of work that it would take to put in motion a movement to get rid of the penny that I think people just don't really care enough about it here, and nobody's really pushing for it to get rid of it. In the meanwhile, you have companies like the people who produce zinc and Coinstars who get tons of business by sorting pennies. Those people are pushing to keep the penny around. So on one hand, you have people who don't really care, and then on the other hand, you have people who do care and they want to keep it around, so it just kind of doesn't go anywhere. That's sort of what it's looking like here. So I think a lot of people are wondering this. How does the rounding work when you're going to buy something that, say, it's got a price of $2.97, but you can't give them pennies and you're trying to give them cash? What do you do? How does that work?
It's the same as when you're in school, rounding to the nearest 10. So if something 3, it gets rounded up. If it's 2 or under, it gets rounded down.
Okay. So I guess more often than not, it's going to get rounded up, but
Yeah.
in the long run, it's pretty much even. It'll even itself out, kind of.
Yeah, sometimes you save money. I love being at the gas station and, putting in $30.02 because I got that 2 cents for free because it gets rounded down to 0.
So you try to stop it on the 2 cent. Yeah, I could see that.
Gas here is so expensive, it's not funny.
Oh, really?
Mind you, we don't pay by the gallon, we pay by the liter.
Right, okay, yeah. You got a whole different system up there. I guess it's really us that has a whole different system from the rest of the world, but depends on how you look at it. Do you miss your pennies?
Sometimes. I wish I had more opportunities to actually search through them and find older coins. But I've done a bit of that because I do have a collection, which I forgot to bring the book out for. But I have almost every Canadian small cent in a little display book now. I'm about 6 pennies away from completing it.
Okay. Is that... So that starts in 1920, right? Would that be like this one?
1922.
Oh, 22? Okay. For the small cents?
Yes, I believe it's 1922.
Actually, this one
I don't have
says...
my books in front of me, so I can't check.
This one says 1920 to date, and it actually does go back to 1920. It says... This is weird. It says George V was 1910 to 36. I actually do have the 1920 here, so...
Yeah?
Yeah, I can go ahead and show this real quick for...
I might just have the day wrong.
Yeah, that's fine. It's top of your head.
I like your style of book, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like that. Mine is a modern thing, and it has these weird sleeves that you pull out and you put it through so you can see both sides.
Right, yeah, I have some of those as well. Is this something that you can get in Canada? What is this, a Whitman folder?
You can't get them anymore unless you buy them online off eBay or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Because I prefer that because then it has the date written on each spot. You can put it in order. You actually have to sit down and read the coin to find out the date.
Right, yeah. So, I mean, Whitman, they're a good folder. I think I do have quite a few of them. Some of the folders that I have today are a little bit newer. I'm just going to show some of the tops of these. You can see the obverse of the different types of coins here. I have some nice examples of the young head Queen Elizabeth. Here's a King George VI, and then this is the obverse of a King George V. Some of the coolest coins that you can find in circulation. Here's the other side. It says 1 cent. And, I'm doing okay on that collection. I could definitely use a lot more of the King George V's. When I was a kid, I used to collect Canadian coins like crazy. The nickels, the pennies. I just filled those books up. So, always been collecting Canadian coins. I think a lot more people should get into it. We're so close to Canada, and I think your coins are so close to American as well. I mean, they're all about the same size. They fit right in with each other, and it's very familiar feeling, I'd say.
Yeah.
And what's really cool from my perspective, I'd say, is that while you still can't find Canadian coins, Canadian pennies, I can still find them in my rolls. As I'm going through a box of pennies, I get tons and tons of Canadian pennies. So if you ever want to, find some more Canadian pennies, you're just gonna have to come across the border and get some boxes.
You should start saving them and rolling them separately because they actually go for double the price on eBay. Because I bought some and got sent to me so I can go through and find pennies for my collection, and I paid a little over double the price per roll of pennies. I bought 35 rolls.
That's an interesting idea.
A little over double each roll.
I should tell my brother Kevin that because he throws them back. So, but yeah, no, that's cool. Were the ones that you bought, did they look searched through to you, or were they pretty random?
Oh, they probably were searched through, but they were probably looking for errors as I'm looking for dates.
Yep.
I wanted to complete the set.
Right, yeah. Same here for the most part. Here's a question. Actually, no, we don't have any more questions on Facebook. So I'll go ahead and remind everybody again. Guys, if you want to ask J3B or myself a question, go ahead and drop it in the chat there. And Coin and Card Hobbies will be going through and picking the best questions and sending them to me via Facebook. And I will go ahead and ask them for you. So we don't have any on deck right now, but go ahead and ask your questions and we will get to them. We got about 20 more minutes here with J3B, so we just got a few questions to ask him. Still on the topic of the penny, one thing that I was wondering is, well, so I guess maybe you don't have a super strong feeling about this because when you were when the penny was abolished, you said you weren't really into coin roll hunting, which I wasn't either. This was about 5 years ago now. So what is your stance on the abolishment of the penny?
I was pretty fine with it. I found they can be hectic. You go to the store and the person ahead of you in line sitting there counting out pennies. It was always time consuming to go through it because you pay a large amount in pennies on roll. It's hard for cashiers. They always take up so much space. I don't know if you guys have them down in the States, but we used to have little trays at the cash register called Take a Penny, Leave a Penny.
Yep.
We just thought it was nothing because you would literally be at the store and you're a penny short, just grab one out of the thing. That no one cared about the penny.
Yeah. I see quarters in those things sometimes, actually.
Yeah.
It's just how people think sometimes, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's sort of what I was trying to get at is that, like, from most perspectives, it looks like it makes sense to get rid of the penny. If you're a coin roll hunter, it does not sound very good. We want to keep pennies around as long as... I think a good happy medium there would be to stop producing the penny, but keep it in circulation.
Let it dwindle down slowly.
Yeah, because I don't really see any value coming out of the production of pennies anymore. Like anything after 1982, with the exception of the 2009 and the 2017 Ps, I throw back anyway. So, if it were just to dwindle down, I think that would happen naturally and it'd be fine. So I think the best solution for me would just be to stop producing the penny, but keep it in circulation. So that's it.
They should have done something like that, but they were like, no, we're going to get rid of it. It's just gone.
Yeah, and they really enforced that. I was surprised to see that.
Yeah. It messed a lot of things up, though, because up here in Canada, people used to charge you like 3 cents if you're at the grocery store or something to buy the bag they put your groceries in. It made a big stink because now instead of 3 cents, everyone's paying 5 cents for a bag, and people just lost their minds.
Wow, yeah, I guess we don't really do that here. Because I worked as a cashier for about a month, but I did work as a cashier for a while at a grocery store, and if people brought bags, we would give them 5 cents off, I think, for each bag they brought, but we never charged them for anything, for any bags. So that sounds kind of harsh, honestly, to charge people.
I have a box at home of Walmart bags unused that I had given to me for a charity event I was running. I would love to bring that into your store and then be like, yeah, I got about $75 worth of bags here.
Well, it was only if the to was used for groceries that we'd actually give you the...
I could really double bag it.
Yeah, I think you'd probably get kicked out. All right. One question I have for you is, do you think that the United States will follow in Canada's footsteps as far as getting rid of the penny?
I think eventually, yes. But I'm not sure as to when, because there's been a lot of debate about it, and it's pros and cons on both sides, and it doesn't seem like they're leaning towards any specific side.
Right, yeah. That's sort of...
Now, this debate could go on for years, or they could just say tomorrow, you know what? Yeah, we're going to get rid of the penny.
Yeah, they certainly could. And then I guess another question that I had for you, as far as Canada goes, do you think the nickel is on its way out as well?
There has been talk about it, but I don't think so because of how many complications there was getting rid of the penny. I don't think the government wants to do the same thing again because if there's no nickel, then you really have to round up.
Right.
And I think that would be too hectic for cashiers and stores and stuff like that to have to round that drastically.
Yeah, and I guess my initial thought 5 years ago, my naive self, I was thinking that getting rid of the penny is like giving into inflation. What do you think about that? Is that really the case?
I'm not too sure if that's the case or not, but you never know. It was a shock to lose the penny, and honestly, it is what it is, and it's been a couple of years, and now I'm just used to it.
Right.
It doesn't faze me at all. I'm used to the rounding. It doesn't bother me.
Okay, yeah, so I'm sure people
I still
would
find it lucky if you find a penny on the street.
Yeah.
There's so much that getting rid of the penny has changed. Have you ever heard the phrase "giving your 2 cents"?
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that in Canada. Give your nickel.
Yeah, give your nickel. That's funny. Give your 2 nickels, maybe. Or, those are about to be faced. I don't know. Well, that's pretty much all the questions I had for you on the penny. We just have a couple of general questions, then I'll check Facebook here to see if anybody's asking any more questions. Looks like we have one coming in. In the meantime, I just want to ask you a few general questions. So here's one for you. Are Canadians really as nice as everyone says they are?
For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
There's some guys that ruin it, but yeah, we're very friendly. But I have to set the record straight. We don't live in igloos.
Gotcha.
I get asked that all the time. Do you guys actually live in igloos? No, unless it snows that night.
Then you go build one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually, on my Facebook page, last winter, my children made an igloo out in the backyard, and it actually turned out good. They made each individual block and laid it and slowly made the roof slant. Oh, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've made
There are some areas up north people do live in igloos because that's their lifestyle.
Yeah.
But, yeah, not everyone in Canada lives in an igloo.
But there are portions of Canada where there's always snow.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, way up north. Too cold for me.
Nobody really lives up there. Yeah. Nobody really lives up there anyway, right?
You'd be surprised. There are areas up there that have a lot of population. Because you got to think Alaska's up there, just a little over from them is Northwest Territories and the Yukon and stuff like that, and Nunavut. And they're big territories with a lot of people in them.
Yeah. Pretty sparse, but kind of spread out all over the place.
Yeah, their towns have a lot of people, but the outskirts, not much there.
Yeah.
Most cities out there are fly-in only. They have an airport, you fly in, there's no direct roads to the towns.
We just got a question off of Facebook. This one also comes from JC Will. Asking all the good questions tonight, JC Will. He asks you, is there any province there that is the best for metal detecting?
For province?
Providence, he says. Is that the right word? Is it
I
province?
think you may mean province for metal detecting.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I'd have to say Ontario, where I am, because as you get close to Niagara Falls, that's the area of where the War of 1812 was. So there you can find a lot of old relics.
The Forgotten War, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that would be really cool to find. I've seen on the Hoover Boys, actually, they find War of 1812 buttons. Those look awesome.
Yeah.
Really cool old stuff there. And obviously your country has a lot of history before becoming a country in 1867. Lots of stuff happened in there before that time. So
yeah. But we're not as lucky as you guys down in the States. Up here I haven't heard of anybody ever finding a real. No Civil War, anything. Well, mind you.
True.
Last year detecting, I found a Civil War Navy uniform button.
Oh.
At the beach in my hometown here. Huh. But our beach used to be the location for an old insane asylum. And I took the button into an expert at one of my local antique shops. And he was looking at it under scope, and we were talking. His theory behind it is during the Civil War, when it ended, a soldier may have had PTSD and was sent up to our asylum to recover. But coming from that time period just after the war, the only thing he would have had with him is his uniform.
Yeah.
And probably wore it for months until he felt he was better to go back. And he could have just been standing out looking at the water and a button fell off.
Wow, that's
There is an opportunity to find history like that in Canada, but it's very, very rare.
yeah. Wow, that's a crazy story though. That is a cool find. Very cool find.
Yeah.
Right there.
Oh, I was excited.
Yeah, for sure. Um, here's one for you. Do you collect American coins?
Some, yes. I have a thing for mercury dimes.
Right.
I have a few steel pennies, and I don't know why, but I collect Wheaties. I have a big container of them. Because those are an older American coin that you can find here in Canada, metal detecting.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I found a few metal detecting, and then people have mailed me some. I bought some online, seen them at yard sales, and pick them up.
Yeah. Yeah, I found a decent amount of King George sixes actually. Now that I think about it, I find a lot of those detecting. I find them in the rolls. It seems like when I do find Canadian coins, they're generally older, which is very.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's cool. Um, what is your? I'm sure everybody that's it. What is your favorite Canadian coin?
My favorite Canadian coin?
Yeah.
I'd have to say the fish scale nickel. It's
Sure.
just so much design on such a little coin that to me it's like art.
Yeah.
It's just an amazing coin. The detail on it, the size, the weight, the fact that it's 925 silver.
And those have
Yeah, it's a very nice coin.
yeah, those have King George V, right? And
Yes.
maybe Queen Victoria as well.
Yes, you can get both because of the time period.
Gotcha.
They went from 1858 to 1921.
Sounds right. Sounds close, at least. I know that the 20s are kind of jumbled up there, but yeah. Yeah. And then what about American? I think you would probably go with Mercury Dime on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you familiar with the gold Mercury Dime that came out, I think, just last year, 2016, for the 100-year anniversary between 1916 when the Merc came out and then 2016? They came out with a golden Mercury Dime.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're a cool coin. Actually, Kevin owns one. I picked it out for him.
Yeah?
Yeah, solid gold.
All right.
Yeah. So you'll have to look into that.
That's a coin I'd love to see the States bring back, though.
Yeah.
Is bring back the design of the Mercury dime for just 1 year as, tribute, like they did with the gold coin, but something that's in circulation so I have a chance to find it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, sort of like with the Buffalo nickel. I mean, it's not really Buffalo. We have a 2005 Bison nickel. It's pretty much the same design, but it's facing it in a different direction. I don't think they'll ever bring back a coin exactly, but they might do a little, nod to the past like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool to see. So my final question, then we'll jump into a couple more Facebook questions here. But my final question for you is, what do you believe the future of coin roll hunting in Canada looks like?
For the most part, it looks like it's slowly dwindling off because there are more and more people getting into the hobby that are searching coins, and soon everything good is going to be taken right out of them, unless you're just going for certain dates to complete sets.
Yeah.
Because I went and bought, I think, like 4 boxes of quarters at one time, and went through all 4 boxes and didn't find one silver coin.
Yeah.
But I buy a box of dimes, and I found 8 in one box. It's just some people hit it hard, some people don't. I've talked to a few people at my bank that I go to pick up coins, and they said over the past year, more and more people are coming in and requesting it to do coin roll hunting. At first, it was pretty much just me, and they thought I was a weirdo, and now apparently it's a thing in my town.
Okay. Do you think maybe...
And it's sad because our population in Orillia is only 30,000.
Yeah.
We're not a big city or anything like that.
Right. Do you think maybe you yourself with your YouTube channel actually might have had something to do with that?
It's possible because I do have a lot of local people that watch my channel.
Yeah.
And I know I've talked to people, I've talked to bank tellers, I talk to people at grocery stores and convenience stores if I happen to get change back and see, oh, hey, look, a silver coin. Well, how do you know it's silver? And then I start explaining the dates. And sometimes I have too big of a mouth and giving away all my secrets, and now everyone's doing it.
Yeah, I guess that's sort of exactly what we're doing here on YouTube anyway. It's kind of a weird, kind of a dichotomy sort of thing going on in your mind. It's like, well, do I really want to be telling? But yeah, it's fun. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a problem with if people are having fun with the hobby, as long as they're not going crazy and it's all about greed and getting this money and this and that. That's why I try to display the collecting part of the hobby, which is like nickels mostly, nickels and pennies. There's no silver there other than the 3 years that you can find it in the nickels. It's really just for the collection. And
Yeah, for nickels, that's the war nickel that's silver, right?
Yep, 1942 through 1945. So.
Yeah, and you can tell that one because the P mint marks above the building?
Yeah,
okay.
P, D, or S will be above the building. And yeah, that's how you tell. You can usually tell just because it looks weird too. It has a strange metal in it. I think it's 9% manganese, which is very weird. It gives it a weird toning after so many years. So yeah, they're cool to find. So just a couple more questions. We got about 5 more minutes. These are coming in from Facebook. This one comes from Gerald Thompson, and he's asking J3B, have you heard of Bitcoin, and what do you think about it?
I've heard of Bitcoin. I haven't done too much research into it because I'm not a fan of that. I like being able to see and hold the money.
Sure.
To literally get a feel for it. And then you can, for some of my silver coins, some of my older coins, I can display them. I'm not going to print out a fake piece of money and put it in a frame and be like, hey, look at my Bitcoin.
Yeah, right.
I'd rather have the actual coin on display.
Right, yeah. And I mean, we can talk about Bitcoin a little bit afterwards, guys. I've been sort of looking into it myself. But no, I do agree, like, having physical money is kind of an important thing. If everything goes virtual, then it's like, what's even real anymore, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, it does kind of look like things are moving in that direction. So we'll talk about that a little bit later, guys. See if we have any more coming in off of Facebook. Any questions you have for me, go ahead and let me know what you're thinking. I'll try and answer whatever you got for me. But we'll see if we missed anything on this sheet here, guys. I think we have just at least one more coming in through Facebook. And guys, if you want to get in any last minute questions, go ahead and put them down in the chat here. And Coin and Card Hobbyists will send me the best ones. I'll just go ahead and take a look at the chat real quick to see if anybody's chiming in.
Do you mind if I do a quick plug for my giveaway?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. For all the people out there that do metal detect, right now on my channel, I have a pinpointer giveaway. It's a TRX. It was actually donated by White's Electronics. And looking at the clock here, you probably have an hour to get in on it before the giveaway closes and I do the drawing.
All right. So
if you need a new pinpointer, head on over.
Yeah. So last chance here, everybody. You said an hour. Got about till midnight 30 here.
I'm going for about 12:30. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. So yeah, everybody go over to J3B's channel. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You can find the description or the link to his channel in the description below. Go over there, check out his giveaway. Like he said, you have about an hour to get into that, and it's for a pinpointer. So that's a pretty big prize. Very cool.
Yeah, and the TRX is one of White's Electronics' newest pinpointers. It's waterproof and everything. But with this giveaway, you get to choose the color of the pinpointer.
Oh, nice.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never used a White's pinpointer. Kevin, my brother Kevin has a White's machine. I know he likes that, but never used a pinpointer before. So
if you ever do end up using one of the White's pinpointers, you'll love it.
Yeah.
With the Garrett, down the side of the shaft, it will actually pick up the signal and give you false signals. Mm-hmm. White's doesn't do that. It's actually just the tip, and it has a depth of about 4 inches.
Okay. Yeah.
Which is really, really good.
Yeah, that would be good. I've seen how Garrett's pinpointers can false like all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm well aware because yes, I'm big on the Whites. But my pinpointer is still a Garrett.
Gotcha, yeah.
I feel like a trader.
Mine is like not even a brand that anybody would recognize. It's like a Vibra pinpointer, which is I gotta get a new one. I might consider the Whites.
Yeah. When I first started out, I rocked an old Bounty Hunter pinpointer.
Okay, yep. I know what you're talking about there. Those are like $35 or something, like they're very cheap.
Yeah, and it broke within a month.
Yeah. Yep. All right, so we just have one more minute, and then we just have one last question coming in. I think this kind of ties in well. This one comes from Brinley Jones, and he asks, What is your go-to metal detector?
My go-to metal detector?
Yep.
I'd have to say that's my White's Spectrum XLT. That's my most advanced detector I've ever had. My Bounty Hunter, it's a great machine. I've had some amazing finds with it. But it's not digital. It's a VDI little wavy thing. And it's literally, it makes the same beat for every signal. It's a dig all.
Yep.
So you can't discriminate between iron or silver or anything like that. The whites, it helps me narrow it down. So if I can tell it's a big piece of iron, I might ignore it.
Right. Yeah. All right. I think that's about all the time we have. So are you going to be sticking around in the chat for a little bit? Because I'll probably be on for another half hour. Okay. Awesome. Yep. Guys, if you want to get any more questions answered, just go ahead and keep asking them in the chat. J3B will be sticking around here for the remaining half hour of the stream and answering your questions there. So with that, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciated having you. A lot of really interesting stuff about Canada. We learned a ton tonight, so thank you so much.
And thanks for having me on here. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully we'll have you on again and definitely be in touch. So, all right.
Well, sounds good.
Yep. We'll see you in the chat. All right.
Bye, everyone.
Peace. All right, guys, that was J3B. So thank you so much once again to J3B for coming on. I'm going to go ahead and end this meeting here. So there we go. All right. So, guys, we have about half an hour of discussion here. I'm going to stay on until about midnight here, just answering your questions. I should probably check on PayPal just to see if anything has come through there. We are accepting donations tonight, as usual, for sponsors of the next week's stream. So if you want to become a sponsor of next week's stream, you can go ahead and donate via PayPal or in the super chat. I will be watching now, so I won't miss any of your super chats. I will definitely be keen on that. I'm going to go ahead and check on PayPal real quick just to see if anybody did come in here. So just give me a sec. And I will be watching the chat, guys. Like I said, this is sort of the kind of wind down session. You can continue to ask your questions and I will try to answer them. I'll try to be watching the chat as well, but Coin and Card Hobbyist, if you could continue to send me stuff on Facebook, that would be appreciated. So I'm going to go ahead and check here real quick, guys. So, all right, I don't know what's going on. There we go. Okay, so nothing's coming in yet. All right, so CCH asks, how do I grade my 1968 Elizabeth 2-dime? Okay, so I think that's probably one for J3B, who is in the chat. I see he's saying hey. So, guys, we have about 34 people watching right now. Go ahead and ask me your questions, and I will get to them. Get to as many as I can tonight. We have a pretty small amount of people in here right now, so we don't have to worry about the chats going by like crazy. If you have anything to ask, like I said, just throw it down in there. Anything you want to follow up on? We started with a little story of J3B. So as you saw, he does metal detecting, he does coin raw hunting, some really cool stuff. He had a really big viral video that sort of shot him into fame in the recent months. But despite that, he has always sort of been one of the most prolific Canadian coin roll hunters and metal detectors out there on YouTube. And it's interesting to see what he's finding up there in Canada, because I find Canadian coins and I'm definitely interested in them, and I think you guys should be as well, because like I said, they're very similar to American coins. The coin sizes are for the most part the same, and they just sort of fit right in. I'm going to go ahead and switch over real quick here, guys, to this view. I have a few coins that I wanted to look at really quick. I showed this one a little bit earlier. This is my 2012 Canadian penny, which is just in really nice condition. The last year that Canada actually made the penny. So that's why I pulled that one out. This is a coin that I found in a box that I actually found my first Indian head penny in. It's a 1957 and just beautiful shape. You can see here it says it found March 24th, 2016. And there's the back side. It's really nice. Sorry about the glare off of this this coin here because of the wrap there, but that is one of the nicer coins that I found, and then I've found plenty of other young heads like this as well. Here's another good example. of a nice young head. This is the last year that they made these, 1964. All coins that I found while hunting. Find tons of nice Canadian stuff. This one's going to be a little harder to show. I mentioned this one a little bit earlier in the video. This is a totem pole 1958 Canadian silver dollar, which I believe is 80% silver. You can see it's 1858 to 1958, so I'm not sure what that is signifying. It says British Columbia here, so I'm guessing it has something to do with that area of Canada. This is just the standard young head back, just enlarged to fit the silver dollar there, so nothing too special there. But it is in really great shape, and I think I got this coin when I was just a kid, way before YouTube for sure. Alright, we'll switch back here and answer a couple of questions that you guys are asking. So, Jefferson Braybrook asks, what are your best coin finds this week? So actually, Jefferson, if you were here at the beginning of the stream, I actually mentioned that this has been a really tough week. A lot of stuff going on. Actually wasn't able to pick up my normal box of pennies yet this week. Should be getting a box of nickels tomorrow, but wasn't able to actually hunt any coins this week. It's just been absolutely busy. As you saw, I didn't go through any coins on stream. I don't have any to go through right now. We're just here to talk, basically. So unfortunately, I didn't get to do any hunting this week. Hopefully, I can soon. I do actually have a really, so this is a full box. Now you're probably wondering, what are you talking about? You don't have coins. You have coins right here. Yeah, I do. This box looks like it's going to be very, very good. So there's 4 enders on this box. I'll pull them out real quick for you. There are 4 enders here. So let's see if I can find them now. Not those ones. Alright, there we go. So I'm going to show these on the camera over here. I'll switch over to that real quick. So, okay, let's pull this out of the way for a sec. Let me show you some of the enders. These are all out of the same box, and this is why I'm saving this box. I actually want to make a video out of this box. Hopefully you can see that okay. That is a very nice looking young head Canadian on the end of that roll. So there's your Canadian. This is something you very rarely see, and I'm actually most excited about. It's not showing up great on the camera, but it's a 1943. Let's see if we can get it to show up here. Nah, it doesn't look like it. So you just have to take my word for it. It is a 1943 King George VI, and this is the reverse of the coin, so you can actually see the date. This is a King George VI right on the end of the roll. You never find stuff like this, guys. I'm giving you a little bit of a sneak peek actually right now to hopefully a video that should be coming out soon. I'll be going through this box as soon as I can. This weekend would be ideal. Here we have a wheat ender. Again, guys, these came out of the same box. And this is another wheat ender. This is a 1940s that I can see there. This one's just the wheat reverse on the end. So 4 enders coming out of the same box. This is looking like it's going to be a good box, but that is why I'm saving it, hoping to go through it at some point soon and then make a video out of it, because you guys are asking for videos recently, and definitely want to make a few more videos. So that box I am saving. So I guess you could call those finds. I haven't really pulled them out yet, but they are there. So, all right, let's see what else is going on, guys. Wallace Family asks, how are you doing? I'm doing great. And Wallace Family, if you were one of the ones that sent the packages, guys, if you did send a package, I do have a few packages here. I will definitely open them for you. Just let me know in the chat and Coin Card Hobbyist if you see something, if you see someone asking to have a package opened, please let me know in case I miss it. So Brinley Jones says, Quinn, I took your advice and started making videos. Nice. Everybody go check out Brinley Jones's videos. He says he's starting to make videos now. You know, in the beginning, you're gonna make some mistakes, and you know, the way I think about it is, if you're not making mistakes, you're not moving fast enough. I made a lot of mistakes in the beginning as well, but eventually, over time, you'll get better, and hopefully, at some point, become an established channel. All right. So Stan Smith says, you asked if we had questions about Canadian coins. I asked twice. All right. Let me see what you got. Okay. Are there many era coins from Canada? I think, I'm not sure if J3B is asking, or is going to answer that one. It says, are there any era coins in Canada? There's definitely era coins in Canada. I think he actually did address that. He said that just like in the United States, there's going to be double. Let me switch this camera up. I don't know what I'm doing. he said just like in the United States, there's going to be double dies. There's going to be, you know, die chips and die cracks and all that stuff. You know, it's sort of the same processes, so you're going to find some of the same errors for sure. So, see what else. Very uncommon to find a Canadian error coin. Probably depends on who. I mean, it's kind of uncommon to find a American error coin too, but all right. So. I'd have torn those open long ago. Yeah, I know some people, you know, it took a while to build the self-control to hold on to a box for a while. But I think once you start getting 1 or 2 boxes of coins per week, it becomes less special, I guess you could say. So you sort of are able to gain the control to actually hold on to coins without opening them. Yeah. All right. So I think I got a couple of questions over on Facebook. Yeah, I think I already answered those. So thank you though, Quin Card, for sending me those. I really appreciate it, guys. We got 42 likes. Let's see if we can get up to 50 likes tonight. I mean, it's not as big as some of the other streams, but I think that's just sort of the natural progression of things. What I have been seeing, though, is that a lot of people have been going back and watching these on the replay. So if you're watching this on the replay, kudos to you, especially if you got this far. That's very, very nice of you. Thank you for that. So Stan Smith says, I hunt pennies, and pennies only. Here's a tip for you. If you hunt pennies, I have 3 Circle K stores that I got in good with the clerks. Yeah, definitely cool to make friends with people in your community who are able to get coins to you. You know, either whether they're bank tellers, whether they're cashiers at a grocery store. Definitely a good thing to have connections like that. They're a gold mine for pennies. I get 50 a month just from them. I also get another 100 a month from my bank every month. I am the penny hunter. Yeah, sounds like it for sure. I probably hunt, you know, I try to hunt a box of pennies every week and a box of nickels every week. Don't always get around to it though. As you can see, you know, sometimes I hold on to boxes to make videos and stuff, but that doesn't always work either. Sometimes I have to break into them. So guys, if you want to become a sponsor of the stream, you can go ahead and click the link in the description that will take you to my PayPal. You can donate there. And it looks like we did just get a $5 donation that came from Chris Langbecker. So thank you so much, Chris. You are currently the only sponsor of next stream. So thank you for that. If you have a channel, then I will try and get to that and link you in the description on the next video. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. Really appreciate it. Also, if you guys want to use super chat as well, that is always an option. Ken PV says, it takes me a month to search a box. Yeah, I can see why, Ken. You're looking for errors and varieties. The stuff that I always just pass up. I'm sure I've passed over $100, $200, $300 coins. And it sounds crazy to say that with confidence in what I'm doing. But the thing is, if I were to look through every single coin, eventually the hours would add up and it wouldn't be such a big number anymore. But, you know, some people just really take joy in looking for errors and varieties. That's not really my thing, though. I just like to look for the old coins. I like to fill the books and just try to have fun with it. And, you know, the competitions are fun as well. So, Stan Smith says that's a good amount too, though. Yeah, I'm retired and do plenty every day. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you're retired, definitely get into it and, you know, look really closely, just like Ken does. Try to find some cool stuff. Wallace Family asks, what is the oldest Canadian coin you have? That is a good question. Well, I just showed you a 1920. I don't have any large cents, so I definitely don't have anything older than 1920 for a penny. That's definitely going to be the oldest penny I have. But I think I do have some of the coins that J3B was talking about. He was talking about a fish scale nickel, which is a small 5-cent silver piece. I bought a few of those back when I was a kid because I thought they looked really cool. Should still have those around here somewhere. I think we even bet them back in a competition hunt video a long time ago. I can't remember if we ever did that or not, but yeah, I'm sure that those are somewhere. I'm just not sure where exactly. Stan Smith says, oh, and by the way, actually answer your question, I think those were from 1910s. So yeah, somewhere around there. I don't think I have any 1800s Canadian coins, but I could easily get some. There's Canadian coins here in the coin shops, just as well as there are American coins in some of the Canadian coin shops. And SJ's Mixed Adventures comes through with a $20 donation super chat. Says, I support those that support me. # feed Ryan Quinn. Thank you so much, SJ's Mixed Adventures. I really appreciate that. You don't even know how far that goes to feed me, as you say. No, you're definitely filling the pantries. And guess what? It's not ramen anymore either. It's we're moving up in the world. We have Kansas soup. We got macaroni and cheese. Yeah, we're definitely moving up. So thank you so much for that, SJ's Mixed Adventures. I really appreciate that. Cheryl's here. Cheryl says, "Wow, Stan, that sounds so interesting." Yeah, definitely sounds interesting on that. He's talking about looking for error coins as well. He says he found a 3-headed Lincoln. Just sent it out to Wexler's to make sure it's legit. 3-headed. That's crazy. I definitely have to see that. I'm not even sure. I'm wondering if you're talking about like a triple die or just like actually like split heads. That'd be crazy. All right, so Kenneth Peavy. That's Ken Peavy. Actually just donated $5 on PayPal. So thank you so much for that, Ken. I really appreciate that. And I will get you in there as a sponsor on the next stream. Thank you guys all for donating. It really does help me out a lot. And thank you so much for supporting the channel as well. All right, so I eat rice and oatmeal. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I definitely do eat oatmeal. I don't usually make rice. I know it's not that hard to do, but I was never really a rice guy. Love macaroni and cheese, though. It's good stuff. Nice and easy to make. So Stan Smith says, "Indeed, Cheryl, it is double struck, then spun 180 degrees and struck another head along the bust with the letters in God. We all along the rim under the bust." So wow, okay, so we have like one head up here, one head down that way. I wonder where the third one is. It's either at a 90-degree angle or some other weird orientation. But man, that's a really cool coin. I'd love to see that one. Send me a picture on Facebook if you can, Stan Smith. Go ahead and check the links in the description. Hopefully they're there. I'm not exactly sure. Guys, we just got up to 50 likes, so thank you so much for that. Like we said, we were going to get up to 50 likes, and we did. So the cheapest old Canadian coin to purchase is the 1859 large penny. They're still under $10 for very good to find. So actually, I think SJ's Mixed Adventures would know a lot about this because in a recent auction she was doing, she was selling large cent Canadian pennies. There was Queen Victoria and I think King George V on the large cent Canadian pennies. So yeah, she would definitely know about that. 1859, so yeah, it sounds like a nice year to get. I think you can get those generally for like 15 to 20 bucks in a coin store, in just like, you know, worn condition. But I would have to check again. Actually, you know, we were talking about the colored coins with J3V earlier, and you can see on the front of this book, this is a quarter. It's a red quarter. It's really weird stuff they do over in Canada. It's pretty crazy, but this is a pretty cool book, guys. It's sort of like the Red Book of Canada, from what I can see. I mean, it looks very similar. I think it might even be by the same people, but just gives you all the information about Canadian coins. There's quarters there. I think we're in the dimes, maybe nickels. But anyways, yeah, it's just like the ones that we get, the red books that we get in America. So definitely a good resource if you're wanting to get into Canadian coins. I actually bought red books and this one in 2006. So we bought those, and I haven't updated the Canadian book. I think I'll probably just stick with this one for a while. There are definitely errors and varieties though to look for in Canadian coins, and I'm still learning those every day. Recently found out about a 1955 error when I found one of those in a circulator roll, so it was pretty cool. All right, so Jefferson Braybrook asks, do you have more than one hat? Yes, I do actually have more than one hat. I like to wear this hat though because I think people identify me wearing this hat. But let me grab some more hats for you. so you see, I keep my hats all up here. So, if you're watching me on YouTube, you've probably seen me in one of these 4 hats. It's usually this one. This is probably the next most popular hat right here. This is actually one of my favorite hats, so I'll throw that one on real quick. Love this hat. Love the way it fits. Nice netting on the back, trucker's hat. Sometimes I wear this one. I usually will wear that one backwards, actually, so you will see me in that in certain videos, and then very occasionally, I actually considered wearing this one tonight, but I don't know. I just don't like this one as much for making videos. I love wearing this one just around. It's got a nice fit. Fits the head very snugly. It's got this nice stretchy material here, especially if I go out playing tennis or something like that. It's a good hat to wear. Just a nice fit. But usually don't wear this one on video very often, so go ahead and wear it tonight, I guess, just for these last few minutes here. All right. So I don't have any more Facebook questions coming through because I think I'm pretty much caught up with the chat. 15 to 20 bucks, yeah, right, yeah. I mean, I don't see them in the coin shops that often for the large sense. I think people see them as sort of a novelty here, and I've never gotten into buying them really, but I would definitely consider it if I were to get a collection or something like that. I still have, like I just showed you guys, the small set collection. So trucker's hat, yeah. Fun fact, I actually was a trucker for a while, so I don't think I ever wore that hat though. I think every time I've had a job or I'm working outside, this has been my hat. This is like it's been through a lot. You can see it's faded. This thing used to be black, like this one right here. Look at the difference. This one's been used a lot. So there's my small cent collection. That's the King George VI page right there. It's pretty empty. And I think that's King George VI right there. Only actually need 2 more of those, the 1938 and the 1937. And I think the rest of it should be full. Oh, yep, it's full. So there's that. Don't have a large cents collection though. So Ken, thanks for joining us tonight. I know I'm a total noob compared to you, but I really appreciate you being in here and giving us the hard facts. So, all right. I need that book. Yeah, you definitely do. SJ's Mixed Adventures. It looks like you've been getting into Canadian coins recently, which is, I'm really glad to see that. And I know you and J3B are good friends as well. So thank you for coming and checking it out. Had a lot of fun with J3B tonight. Really cool interview. Learned a lot about Canadian culture. Learned a lot about Canadian coins. The whole penny thing is just very interesting to me. So yeah, definition of procrastination. Davey Boy says, definition of procrastination. I haven't replaced the winter hat I lost in 1994. 1994, man. It's 23 years. You need to get a new hat, man. So Mudswat says, make sure you aerate your hat and give it some sun. You'll go bald. Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to fix the problem, Mudswat. I think that's going to happen regardless of what I do to my hats. But I appreciate the advice. Cheryl says, hey Troy, Blackhawks took another fall tonight. Wow. Oh, boo-hoo, Cheryl. The Blackhawks aren't doing as well as you'd like. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I love to hate on the Blackhawks because I'm a Red Wings fan. So that's kind of what we like to do. But it's all fun games. Hey, Clash Guitars, what's going on, man? He says, I enjoy your channel and live streams, Ryan. Yeah, Clash, I think I either sent you an email or a message on Facebook to try and set something up with you. I'd love to have you on the stream, Clash. So definitely get back to me if you can, or if you haven't gotten the message, let me know. Would love to set something up with you, Shane. So, at least one. Nice. Stephen Bessie says, I tweeted you. Okay, cool. I will get back to you hopefully after the stream. If not, in the morning. All right, Ken Peavy says, I'll start procrastinating when I get around to it. Yep, that's pretty much how it goes. Good live stream tonight. Yeah, thanks, Stan. Thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. Looks like we got about 6 more minutes, so I'll definitely stick around until midnight. All right. Yeah, Clash. Let's see. I don't think I got an email from you yet. So let me know on that. But yeah, I mean, there's a whole window of topics that I'd love to talk to you about, Clash. I've been tuning into some of your live streams. Haven't always said anything because I've been sort of on the go while I was doing it. Didn't get a chance to really comment, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'd love to talk to you about. Looks like you're doing some really cool stuff. So yeah, definitely would love to have you on the stream. So thanks for hanging out tonight. Yeah. What's the oldest American coin you have? Comes from the Wallace family. You know what? I'm gonna go grab what I believe to be the oldest American coin. So just give me 1 sec here, guys. Wrong book. All right, I'm fairly certain this is the answer to your question. Let's go ahead and switch over to close-up screen here. 1834 capped bust dime. In terrible shape, but it is there. This is, it's legit. It's a very old American dime from before the Civil War. There you can see the eagle on the back, just very slightly. It's not in the best condition, like I said before. But yeah, there it is, 1834. So I think that's got to be the oldest American coin I own. Can't think of anything older than that. I had to pick this one up though, just to have something that old. So there you go, 1834. Hopefully that answers your question sufficiently. Stan Smith says something happened to the stream. Yeah, I just walked over in that direction. I once had an 1837 U.S. dime and somehow lost it. Oh man, that's not cool, man. You can't lose 18. I mean, I can't remember how much I paid for this, but it wasn't that cheap. Cool thing about this, which I had no idea about, it's actually quite a bit larger than a normal American dime. I don't have one here for scale, but it's a lot larger than an American dime, which you don't really think about. Currency, has changed its shape. The one really good example I can think of is the now I lose it. The one example that I'm thinking of is the shield nickel, which is just slightly smaller than a normal nickel today, and it's actually probably closer to size as this capped bust dime here. Yeah, Stan Smith says it's rough, but it's cool. Definitely a cool coin. That's why I picked it up. All right, JC Will says, very good stream. JC Will, thank you for asking the good questions tonight. I really appreciate getting those questions in. I think you got 3 in tonight that got sent over on Facebook, and we asked them over to J3B there. So thank you for getting those questions in tonight. I appreciate that. Very, very good questions tonight. Troy says he has an 1844 large cent. It got you by 10 years. Yeah, 10 years there. Yeah, I'm gonna keep trying to get older and older until I get into the 1700s, and then you can't really go much further than that as far as American coins go, unless you want to go into colonial stuff. But yeah, I don't know. All right, hey, Jefferson Braybrook just sent in a $5 donation. He says, I'm looking forward to your penny video. Keep up the good work. I look forward to your streams every week. My best find this week was a 1920 wheat. That's awesome, dude. 1920, man, I haven't found an old wheat like that in a long time. Definitely hoping to find one in this box, though. So thank you so much for that $5 donation, Jefferson. I really appreciate that. And yeah, definitely love having you on the stream. I'm really glad that you look forward to them. Stuff like that is the reason why I keep doing them, is because people like them and want to see more. So that sort of drives me to keep making them. So thank you for that. And then just a few more comments here, guys. We're just going to log off in a couple minutes. Ken Peavy says those older US coins are tougher to find. There were few collectors back then. Yeah, there were. There's not very many in good shape anymore. That's for sure. I'm guessing the only way that a coin like this survives is, I mean, this is almost 200 years old. So sure, it's been in circulation for a long time. You can see that by the wear, but I'm guessing it was probably pulled out in 1910s or 1920s or something like that. It's been passed down. Not easy to find old coins like that. Definitely not. So yeah, it's cool to have, and I'll just keep buying them. Go into the coin shop, pick up one or two there, here and there. Clash says, yes, we can set something up. I don't have Skype, but we can figure something out. Yeah, it's actually what we use, Shane, is a video calling system called Zoom. Very easy to download, very intuitive. I just send you a link, and then we can get on the chat. So would be awesome to set something up for sure. So Stan Smith says, Quinn, thank you for the great stream tonight. I have to do some honeydews, have fun, all good luck on your hunts. Thank you so much, Stan. I really appreciate having you on. Sounds like you've been here for quite a while and you've been asking questions, so I appreciate your patience with us and getting to your questions, and love having you in here. So thank you so much, guys. We are going to end it here, though, real quick. I'm just going to answer just a few more things, and then we're going to go ahead and end it. Yeah, Wallace Family says, awesome stream. Keep up good work. Thank you so much. Quench Gaming says, what has he found? I couldn't make the stream. Yeah, we didn't actually do any coin roll hunting tonight, Quench Gaming. We just did sort of an interview and a little bit of discussion afterwards, so definitely catch the replay there to see what we were talking about. Yeah, the cap bust time, 89% silver. See, that's the other thing. Is like they have weird silver percentages, which I'm sure Ken has down to a T. But yeah, definitely some weird stuff going on back then. They just didn't have the process down yet. And then Davey Boy says, I have maybe the most worn out coin out there. King George V quarter, completely blank on the front. I know, yeah, I have some of those older Canadian quarters as well, which you just can't even get anything off of. Can barely make out a bit of a king's head, so yeah, you can sort of figure it out. But alright, yep, thanks for the live stream. Thank you guys, again, for showing up. Really love everybody's support here. Appreciate having everybody here in the chat. We got about 30 people watching. It was pretty steady throughout the stream, so love having everybody in here. Love doing this with all the different people in the coin roll hunting community. Thank you to J3B for coming on. It was a really great time. And with that, guys, we're going to go ahead and end the stream. So again, thank you so much. Thank you to everybody who donated. You will show up in the next stream as sponsors, so I thank you for that. And with that, I'm going to end the stream. So good night, everybody. Hope everybody has a good night and a good Friday tomorrow.